Nah, this has to be a joke, right? You mean to tell me Caitlin Clark got hit with a flagrant for that? I've seen the replay over and over and I still don't get it. Angel Reese sells it, drops like a movie scene, and somehow
And
Caitlin's
look
the
how
villain?
Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese.
Okay, yeah, it's a tough foul, but a flagrant? Seriously? Look at Angel. She hits the floor like she got tackled, not touched. How is no one calling that out? This is just insane. But don't go anywhere, because this is where it gets wild. The refs tried to shut Caitlin down, but all they did was wake up a beast. Let's break down this insane showdown between the Fever and the Sky. It was supposed to be just another Caitlin versus Angel face-off, but nope. This one turned into a full-blown statement from Indiana. First quarter starts with some back and forth. Right out of the gate, Cardoso gets a quick layup for Chicago.
Atkins quickly ahead to Cardoso.
But the Fever didn't flinch. They hit right back. And that's what I love about this squad. They don't fold, no matter the score. Then, bang, early in the first, Caitlin Clark steps up and launches from way downtown. Logo range, cold-blooded, unreal.
Clark connects! The first logo bomb of the season from Caitlin Clark.
Gotta admit, Angel Reese showed up early. Strong drives, fought through contact, crashing the boards. But hold up, can we talk about Kelsey Mitchell for a sec? Who's faster than her in transition? Nobody. She's a blur. Midway through the first, Boston hits her on the break. Easy bucket. Sky defenders looked stuck in slow-mo. And Aaliyah Boston? A menace. Right in that first quarter, she swats Angel Reese for her 100th career block. Tell me that's not basketball karma. Indiana closes the quarter up 22-7, and this game, just getting spicy. Second quarter hits, and Fever crank up the pressure. Defense turns savage. Lexi Hull, yeah, I call her Lexi Hustle, snatches a steal, fast break, easy two. Then boom, Caitlin drops a dime to Lexi for another sweet finish.
Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look! And Hull lays it in.
The way this team moves together, it's unreal. Right after, Reese actually hits a three. Yeah, I said it. I mean, credit to her. But let's be real. That's not her shot. She nailed it, but it still felt like a prayer. Meanwhile, the Clark-Boston-Howard-Bonner combo, straight up cooking. Big-to-big passes, smooth ball movement. It was art. Midway through the second, Caitlin threads one to Boston for an easy bucket. And Boston? She's eating down low. Then, boom, another massive block on Reese. But wait, it gets better. Boston fakes the handoff to Caitlin, drives straight to the rim, and her defender just stands there, frozen solid. This was straight-up basketball poetry. The half ends with Indiana leading 45-32. Clark's already putting on a show. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Boston? She's everywhere. 8 points, 6 boards, 2 blocks. Total control. But the third quarter? That's where the vibe shifted. Indiana's defense hits another level. They're swarming, causing chaos, tipping passes, making life hard. And Natasha Howard? An absolute force. She was everywhere, locking in on both ends and proving exactly why she's one of the best two-way players in the game.
The previous possession switches out. What I love is her length. See how her arms are up. She can give Slew a little.
Then midway through the third, it happens. The moment that changed everything. Clark sees Angel Reese push her teammate Natasha Howard. You can literally hear Clark yell at the ref about the push-off, and no call is made. Reese is wide open heading for an easy bucket. So Clark does what any smart player would do. She commits a hard foul to prevent the free points. It's basketball 101, folks, especially since Reese struggles at the free throw line. But what happens? Reese flops like she's auditioning for a soccer team, gets up all upset and starts chirping at Clark. Meanwhile, Clark just walks away completely unbothered. And the refs they call a flagrant on Clark. Are you serious right now? See, this is what drives me crazy about officiating. That's just a regular strategic foul. The Sky were already down 14, and the refs just handed them a lifeline with that bogus call. But here's the beautiful part. Instead of rattling the Fever, that flagrant foul ignited them. It was like pouring gasoline on a fire. After that call, Caitlin Clark and the Fever delivered one of the most spectacular performances I've ever seen. They went from being up 14 to pushing the lead to 20. By the end of the quarter, Boston drills a three just a minute later, then another layup from a Clark dime. The ball movement, the defensive intensity, everything went to another level after that flagrant. You could literally feel the energy shift in the arena. By the time the fourth kicked off, this game was already cooked. But the Fever? Still out for blood. Clark starts the quarter by burying a 31-foot three, ice cold, then snatches a steal and dishes it to Mitchell for a smooth, fast break layup. Seconds later, boom, another Clark three. Lead jumps to 26. Total takeover. The Sky had no answer. None. The game ends in a violent 93-58 smackdown by the Fever. A 35-point blowout to open the season. First time in franchise history. Caitlin Clark, she made history too, dropping a perfect triple-double. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, plus 2 steals and 4 blocks. Boston, a wrecking machine. 19 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks. The whole team, 13 steals, 10 blocks. Defense was everywhere. This Indiana squad isn't just good, they're dangerous. And Angel Reese, she had 12 points, sure, but shot just 5 of 14 and coughed up 5 turnovers. Remember that flagrant call? Gave her 2 free throws. She hit only 1. But that weak whistle did something bigger. It woke up the beast inside the Fever. That's what makes basketball so wild. A bad call doesn't just tick off a player, it lights a fire under the whole team. And that's exactly what happened. They gave Caitlin Clark a flagrant for that. It didn't slow her down. It pushed her harder. And Angel, she ended up on the wrong side of the storm. The Sky got burned for poking the wrong bear. If you're loving this kind of breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick with me. I'll be covering Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever all season long. Trust me, what's coming next? You don't want to miss it. Now tell me in the comments, did that flagrant call feel fair, or was it just plain ridiculous? The WNBA itself can't stomach Caitlin Clark's success. Yeah, you heard that right. Sources say the league's top boss actually ordered another drug test for Caitlin. Why? Because apparently, her amazing comeback after injury looked too good to be true. Seriously? That's the logic now? A player grinds hard, puts in work, and drops a fire performance, and they assume she's on something? They're not celebrating her. They're questioning her. Instead of praising her bounce back, they're accusing her of using performance enhancers. It's like they're hoping to catch her slipping, just to slow her down. Because deep down, they're scared. Scared of the numbers she pulls, scared of the crowd she brings, scared of the way she's changing the entire league. This isn't just disrespect, it's sabotage. And you gotta ask, if this was any other player, would they be treated the same way?
The word undeniable exists for a reason, and it applies to Caitlin Clark. She is just absolutely undeniable, and her return to the Indiana Fever showed it once again. It felt like a jolt of energy to the WNBA, obviously to the Indiana Fever.
I'm going to say it. Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now. It's really hard not to recognize the difference that she makes on the Indiana Fever, a team that was obviously struggling with playmaking, struggling with pacing, struggling with the things that make us want to watch. And she steps into that.
Let's just lay out the facts, because they're so insane. They almost sound fake. Caitlin Clark misses 5 games. She comes back, no warm-up, no excuses, just domination. Drops 32 points on the defending champs, snaps New York's undefeated streak, leads her team to one of the biggest wins of the season. You'd think the league would be celebrating her, right? Wrong. Her reward for that historic performance? Not applause, not praise, but a mandatory drug test. And get this, it's her 11th drug test this season. 11. That's not random. That's targeting. You gotta ask, are they trying to catch her or just punish her for being great? Because from where we're sitting, it feels like the league isn't just doubting her. They're actively trying to drag her down. And the timing? Couldn't be more shady. She puts on a show, embarrasses the top team in the league, and bam, they hit her with another test. Feels less like protocol and more like a hit job.
And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from 2 players with incredible
So let me get this straight. Caitlin Clark comes back after 5 games off, drops 32 on the defending champs, and the first thing the WNBA does is pull out the drug test kit? You can't make this stuff up. It's like the league saw her stat line and said, no way a young female player could be this good without cheating. That's not just insulting. It's straight up embarrassing for the WNBA. They couldn't handle the fact that she made it look too easy. So instead of clapping for her, they try to catch her slipping. What's next? Blood test for having too much heart? Urine sample for being too clutch under pressure? And the fans? Oh, they weren't quiet. One said, she tested positive for GOAT DNA. Lock her up for being legendary. Another joked, can we test the refs too? Because whatever they're on, it's clearly not reality. This isn't about safety or fairness anymore. This is a power move. This is the league saying, you're shining too bright and we don't like it. They're not drug testing her because they're suspicious. They're drug testing her because they're threatened. You know what had me laughing out loud? Someone online said, forget a drug test. They should have done a DNA test. There's no way Caitlin Clark is even human. And honestly, they might be onto something. Because what she did against the Liberty, that wasn't basketball. That was sorcery. 3 deep threes in 38 seconds to open the game. Bro, that's not just rare. It's not supposed to happen. That's the stuff you pull off in NBA 2K on rookie mode, not in real life after a quad injury. And how does the league respond to this greatness? Do they hype it up? Do they market the hell out of it? Nope. They stick a cup in her hand and tell her to pee in it. Because God forbid she just happens to be that good. The timing isn't just off, it's embarrassing. She returns from injury, torches the best team in the league, breaks a franchise record with 17 threes. And the first thing they do is check her for banned substances? No celebration, no love, just suspicion. Like, is this how the league treats the player who's been carrying all the ratings, ticket sales, and headlines? The same player who made casuals care about the WNBA? They're treating her like she snuck in with a fake ID and a cheat code. And don't even get me started on this so-called random testing. Most players get tested 3 times, maybe 4 if the system glitches. But Caitlin, she's on that deluxe package 11 times. 11. At this point, she's spending more time in testing rooms than in post-game interviews. It's not random, it's harassment with a clipboard. Caitlin Clark literally saved a league that was on life support. The WNBA was struggling. Ratings were down, players weren't even getting decent salaries. Then Caitlin shows up, and suddenly there's hope. She brings in fans, media attention, sold-out arenas. She revived the entire league. And how does the WNBA thank her? By throwing shady drug tests at her, by letting other players take cheap shots at her, by turning a blind eye when she's getting targeted on and off the court. Let's be real. This league doesn't deserve Caitlin Clark. The way they treat her, it's like they're ungrateful for the lifeline she gave them. Maybe it's time she thinks bigger. Maybe it's time she takes her talents to the EuroLeague. What do you guys think? Should Caitlin Clark leave the WNBA behind and make that move? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear what y'all think.